Hi, I'm Sandy Ames, hypnotherapist. Today is huge. In one podcast, you are going to learn two things that seem unrelated, but they're totally related, so they go together. Number one, you are going to learn how to lose weight by drinking Coca-Cola. You're welcome. Number two, you are going to learn how to annihilate anxiety by eating. Again, you're welcome. Here's how we're going to do it. I'm bringing you two videos from my training series. By the way, if you were doing the training, you would only get one at a time. You get them both back to back. You'll listen to these videos. When they're done, I'm going to come back in and answer the questions I believe you are going to have. Here we go. Hi, I'm Sandy Ames, hypnotherapist. In a few of my videos, you hear me talking about eating a little bit of fat and protein every couple hours throughout your day because it helps stabilize your blood sugar. Ultimately, what that means is it really reduces levels of anxiety in such a big way that I talk about it all the time. Please don't ever change your diet without consulting with your doctor. But other than that, that's what I'm talking about all the time. So I have two stories that I love to share about this. I had a guy come in, and we're going back many years ago, maybe 7 years ago. He was obese, came in for weight loss, and was also very stressed out about work because there's always a level of anxiety when people come in for weight loss, because if we didn't have the anxiety and we could control our emotions, we could control our eating. And so we talked about his lifestyle, and I said, look, I'm going to teach you a method of overcoming your sugar addiction, which is for another video. But he said, no, thank you. I'm definitely not interested in that. I said, but how do you know? It's very easy and it takes 3 days. You sure? And he said, yeah, because I have a Coca-Cola every morning and I'm never giving that up. I said, well, you don't have to give up your Coca-Cola, but I would like it so the Coke doesn't have its claws in you and you simply get to choose. So maybe you have it, maybe you don't, but it's going to be up to you. Wouldn't you want to be in control? No, I definitely just want my Coke every day. It's okay. So we have to customize this for you so this can work for life. So let's work this around what matters to you. Having a Coke in the morning matters. Keep your Coke. Doesn't matter. This will still work the same. So I said, I'm going to add a little bit to your diet, which may seem counterintuitive, but let's just go with this process. I said, have a little fat and protein while you're drinking the Coke or right before. And he agreed to hard-boiled eggs. It's very simple and he could cook up a bunch for a few days. So I said, have an egg or two with your Coke in the morning. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get to work. And instead of your anxiety levels shooting up from all of that sugar and all of that caffeine, your blood sugar is going to be stabilized because the amount of fat and protein in the eggs. So now you get to work and all of a sudden people miraculously seem nicer and easier. You're getting more done in less time. And now you get to lunchtime, and where you used to eat an entire pizza, because a couple hours into work, now you've had maybe that handful of 7 walnuts, right? Every couple hours, just a little fat and protein. Now you get to lunch, and instead of eating that entire pizza, your mind is just going to have a little pause and a moment to choose. And you're going to say, wow, the grilled chicken Caesar salad looks amazing. I'll have that. You'll have it. You'll enjoy it. Then you'll feel better. Then you'll move your body more. And then you're going to be more thirsty. And so you're going to hydrate more. And so. And then give it about 4 weeks. And at about the 4-week mark, you're just going to start to see you lose about a pound or two a week just by adding the eggs, the walnuts. And you're going to get more done in less time at work. And he said, okay, Sandy, thank you very much. Bye. And then I never saw him again. I was like, well, you win some, you lose some. What are you going to do? About 6 months later, I got a call from a woman and she said, hey, I'd like to book a session. You came highly recommended by this guy. And I thought, I didn't say anything. I just went ahead and booked her and said, thank you. So I called him and I said, thank you so much for the referral. And by the way, it didn't work out between us, but I really appreciate the referral. He said, what are you talking about? I'm down 40 pounds. And I said, well, how come you never told me? He said, well, you told me it would work. So why are you so surprised? I said, okay, touche. And so now a year later, he calls me. He said, now I know it's my job to tell you that I'm losing weight. So I'm down 80 pounds. And I said, that's absolutely fantastic. I'm so proud of you. So now that was, I don't know, maybe 6 or so years ago. Not that long ago, he came back to New York because he moved away. He came back to New York. He said, I'd love to come and say hi and thanks. And maybe let's grab lunch. I said, sure, no problem. He's no longer my client. So we did. And I watched what he ordered. He ordered a Coke. He ordered a meat dish. And instead of the white rice, he got brown rice. And I didn't say anything. He drank the whole Coke, and I'm like, he's not having one a day. He's having two, and he's probably having more than two. But you wouldn't recognize the guy. It was man muscles and chiseled face, and what a transformation. And I said, come on, I know you're doing something other than the small suggestions that I made to you in that first session. And he said, no, that's it. You mentioned doing like little lunge walks to the bathroom to give myself a little bit more exercise. You told me to walk and drink water. He said, I just do those little things you told me to do because I do the egg and I do the walnuts, and then it just, everything is exactly how you said it would be. It's just, I feel better. So I do more. I go skiing and things like that. I said, it's great. So he drinks the Coke. He eats about 3/4 of the food and stops, a few bites of the brown rice and stops. He's created good habits that suit his very specific lifestyle, and it has been sustained over years. It becomes habit. It becomes effortless. That's story number one. For story number two, go to my video about peanut butter. Hi, I'm Sandy Ames, hypnotherapist. Oh yes, here's another video about how much I love the idea of having just a little fat and protein every 2 hours. It stabilizes your blood sugar, and it does wonders for just maintaining levels of calm and watching how anxiety just no longer takes control over your life. So I had a guy come to me for public speaking. And his particular situation is he's a salesperson. He's got a new wife and a young baby, and he's got this financial responsibility. And in sales, you're making presentations, and that determines how much money you're going to make to support your family. And he was very nervous about it. There was a lot riding on his shoulders. And so he felt that his performance wasn't so good, and it was having a negative effect on his sales. And he wanted to do better in these sales presentations. I gave him all kinds of tips, and we did all kinds of role playing. It was a lot of fun. And one of the things I said is, look, you've got to have a little fat and protein every couple hours. It's going to stabilize your blood sugar. It's going to just keep that anxiety level down enough so you have access to clarity and calm. Slow motion. Your brain's going to work better. A little fat and protein every couple hours. And he also was a guy who likes to work out. I said, make sure you eat a little bit within that hour before the workout and a half hour after the workout. No, I'm in great shape. I got it down. I'm not going to do any of this stuff. No. I said, all right, no problem. But even if you can do maybe you don't have to do fat and protein every 2 hours. You don't have to make it a job, but maybe just one time in the day, and maybe in the morning, so you can set your day properly. Okay, so he comes back for a second session, and he says, well, my wife didn't know that I did hypnotherapy, and she pointed out that something about me had changed and that she was really enjoying our time together. And I still didn't tell her what I'm doing, but I thought it was really interesting. I said, it's great. Well, hypnosis really works. So good for you. He said, I've never sold more than I sold in this past week. I said, well, that's great. I mean, hypnosis works, and it's working very nicely and quickly for you. I'm so happy to see that. He said, I didn't do the eating every couple hours. He said, but I did just add a scoop of peanut butter in the morning. And that's something that I hadn't been doing. He said, I swear to God, it's the peanut butter that's changed my life. He said, I could physically feel the difference. I can mentally, emotionally feel the difference. I said, well, I agree with you. Do me a favor, please. Do not go online and give me that 5-star review that says, really great. I learned that I should eat peanut butter, because then, that's not going to go well for my business. But we worked together for 4 weeks. Everything in his life across the board, we're starting to improve. It was making him happy. It was making me happy. And by the end of the 4 weeks, he said, I have to make a confession. These last 3 weeks, I have been doing the fat and protein every couple hours, because that little bit of peanut butter in the morning made such a difference. He said, and I really do like it better. He said, I thought it was going to be hard work. And for a few days, I had to make myself do it. He said, now I don't think about it anymore. I've found my routine. So I really want to thank you. And I really want to thank you for hearing that. Because if you can incorporate even a little bit about what you learned in this video into your life, wow, what a difference. And I'm so happy that you have this opportunity to do that. And we're back. Let's tackle those questions. Always check with your doctor and nutritionist before making any lifestyle changes. So what's this eating protein and fat every 2 to 3 hours thing? How does it work? I talk often about that wall of anxiety. And what I mean by that is when we get stressed, when we freak out, that's normal everyday stuff for most of us all of the time. You've got this wall that goes up between the front part of your brain and your back part of your brain. I call it the wall of anxiety. It throws you back to the back part of your brain into fight or flight, into stress mode, into survival mode, everybody's annoying mode, overwhelm mode. Kind of seems normal to most of us most of the time. But what it does, that wall blocks you from the front part of your brain where you have thinking and logic, clarity, ease, calm, higher thinking. Reactive mode, stress mode, blocks us from access to our highest wisdom. So what throws that wall up? Well, anything that you think is a stressful trigger, yes, of course. Your ex, a cup of coffee on an empty stomach. Coffee in general throws that wall up, but especially on an empty stomach. Even if you're a happy person, it still creates levels of anxiety. Other things that bring the wall up, dehydration, going more than 3 hours without eating, even if you have a good diet. And I know some people say, well, you know, Siddhartha sat in the woods for 5 days and he didn't eat, and he's like the calmest guy ever. And I say, okay, no problem, go sit in the woods. But if you're going to have this kind of lifestyle, you need to eat. And then people say, well, what about intermittent fasting? It's amazing for some people some of the time. But did you know for certain people in certain categories, especially, but not always, women and people in certain hormonal changes, intermittent fasting can actually work against us. Either way, intermittent fasting can also work for us. So please choose the lifestyle that works best for you. And you'll check with your doctor and nutritionist and see if it's right for you. So my recommendation, don't go more than 3 hours without eating, drink water all day, walk. So these are things that bring the wall up: sugar, carbs, caffeine, anxiety, stress, triggers, dehydration, going more than 3 hours without eating. All of that causes stress, throws off blood sugar levels. 3 things bring the wall down. 1, relaxation. For my clients, that relaxation portion, that's my job. As a hypnotist, that's where I work. You can do your own meditation. You can listen to hypnosis MP3s of mine available on my website. You can go on YouTube and get anything for free regarding relaxation, meditation, hypnosis, guided stuff. It's all out there. It's all free. You could just take a nice long exhale. Do about 3 of those. That's free. And it's always available. And it works to change the chemistry of your brain. Nice long exhales, the longest exhale on the planet. And like a vacuum, you just get filled with that instant calm. Think of a nice long exhale as when you allow for the release, automatically you get filled with everything you need when you let go. 3 things that bring the wall down. 1, relaxation. That's my job or yours, and it's easy. The second thing that brings the wall down is fat, and the last one is protein. A little fat and protein every 2 to 3 hours. I spoke about it in those 2 videos. We're talking about 100 calories worth. But I need you to make a promise to me. If you are going to put it in your mouth, I want you to promise that you love it. Don't make yourself eat anything you don't want to eat. There is so much available that you genuinely enjoy, love, and savor. Find that. For you, it might be trail mix with dark chocolate and cherries in it. Why not? Or cheese or something vegan. Nut butters, seeds, avocado. Maybe you like salmon or bacon. Don't go nuts. I have bacon like 4 times a week because I live down the street from Daily Provisions. That's my Coke. What can I tell you? I'm Jewish. Don't tell my grandmother. Find what you love. Make it your own. Make a grocery list, because if you're going to be doing the fat and protein every couple hours, have it available and have stuff that you can throw in your bag or your pocket and have extra in case you get caught in traffic. Make your grocery list. Order it. That's how we do it here. Or go out and get it. That's how they do it in faraway places. And for the first 3 days only for 3 days. So you're going to sort of make yourself do this, right? You grab your phone and you set your alarm for every 2 hours. You're going to have a little fat and protein with your coffee in the morning. If you want to make me beam with happiness, have some hot water with lemon before you do that. So let's pretend it's 8 a.m. So 8 a.m., I'm going to have this. 10 a.m., I'm going to have this. 12, you're making a list. And then you set your alarm for every 2 hours. I did have somebody ask me one time in all the years I've been doing this, should I wake myself up in the middle of the night to eat? No. Can I incorporate this with intermittent fasting? Yes. Find your own way, figure it out. You can't get it wrong. You know it's right when you feel great. So get it wrong before you get it right. Here's your checklist. Make a grocery list. Get the groceries. Either the night before or the morning of, write down what you're going to have every couple hours throughout your waking day. Don't worry about calories. They'll find their way because you're going to be one thing, which is satiated. So you're going to find that you stop craving certain sugars and carbs because when we have a little fat and protein every couple hours, we are satiated. And therefore, when it comes to actual meal time, you decide when that is. I prefer that you do not have a heavy meal within hours before bed. Maybe make lunch your heaviest meal, dinner much lighter. You're going to find that portion control no longer is a verb. It just occurs because you're satisfied. Deprivation doesn't work. I don't recommend removing anything from your lifestyle. That includes carbs and sugar. But you're going to find that it finds its natural way because you are satisfied and you are worth it. Have you pictured in your mind where and when you're going to be when you make your list of what you're going to have every couple hours? See it now, and then it's more likely you'll actually get it done. That's a hypnotic technique. What are you going to be wearing? How are you going to be sitting? When you make the list of what you're going to have every couple hours, so you've got it ready for the day. Good job. You got this.